Using Big Books to Teach Reading to Young Children by Michael Aiello, EDSC 665, online, spring 2014, Professor Troy Robinson. Using Big Books. According to Vaga, Big Books are one of the easiest and most effective ways to get beginning readers involved in exploring texts. Big Books, with their large print and colorful pictures, allow the entire class to share good stories, poems, rhythms, and interesting books of fact. Big Books have predictable plots and repeating language that make them easy for children to remember. For example, in the book Caps for Sale, the man selling caps keeps repeating, "Caps, caps for sale." Children enjoy this repetition and can make predictions about when they think the man will say the phrase again. Big Books put children in a no-risk situation to read because they can read with a group at their own skill level. It is important to remember that reading and writing activities are ways children share their thoughts and ideas with others. Big Books, with their large print and repeating words, can help all struggling readers regardless of their challenges. How to use Big Books. Before reading a big book, the teacher begins a discussion with the children related to the content and concepts of the story. The teacher reads the title aloud and asks the children what they think the story may be about. The children use their prior knowledge and their imagination to make predictions. They watch to see how the teacher models interest in the story. During the reading, the teacher gives a spiritual reading, tracks the printer with a pointer or by hand, makes some predictions, pauses at key points in the story, and allows the children to fill in possible words or phrases and at specific points in the story. The teacher stops and asks the children what might happen next. The children follow along with the teacher and respond to the teacher's prompts. After reading the big book, the teacher guides a discussion about key ideas in the text and helps the children relate key concepts, recall important or favorite parts, and rereads them to the children. The children follow along and respond to the teacher's prompts. Struggling readers and ELL students can join in by reading the part of the text they are most comfortable in and enjoy the most. Setting up a literacy center. The Classroom Literacy Center is a good place to introduce Big Books to beginning readers. Different types of literacy centers include a library center, a reading buddy center, and a writing center, and a Big Book center. At each center there is a big colorful poster on an easel with the center's name. The Big Book Center can include published and class-made Big Books. The center should have carpets and mats that the children can sit on when the teacher reads the books to them. There should be different types of pointers to track text, highlighted tape, and art supplies such as chart paper, markers, pencils, and staples that the children can use to create original Big Books, and a variety of prompts to be used in shared reading lessons. Shared reading lessons using Big Books. According to Vaga and Holloway, shared reading is an important part of a balanced literacy program. Shared reading should remind children of family reading time at home. In a shared reading lesson, the teacher introduces, talks about, and reads the story to the children. Rereads familiar stories to the children for word recognition and key concepts, and introduces written language features such as individual words, sentences, and paragraphs, and left-to-right directional movement. These activities help children develop reading skills and strategies. Guided reading lesson using big books. Guided reading is a strategy where the teacher works with small, flexible groups of children, all reading on the same level. Big books are valuable in guided reading lessons because beginning readers can start to understand left-to-right directional movement, match voice to print with one-to-one matching of words using pointers, and use picture clues to help tell the story and help build vocabulary. Because of their large print, repeating words, and colorful pictures, big books put children in a comfortable reading environment. The teacher is a facilitator and conducts the lesson as already described in slide 3. How to use big books. Classroom management guide for managing and organizing groups of students to work in a literacy center. One goal of the literacy center is for children to work in small groups and then work independently. However, children need structure. Teachers should develop and plan structured, manageable groups. The research suggests small groups of 4 to 6 children at a literacy center are very effective. Teachers should work with the children to establish written routines that allow for movement and open discussion with a sense of order and respect for each other and other children's work. For example, there should be a designated area clearly labeled where children store their work in progress and finished products. Furniture should be arranged so that the children can move around freely under the teacher's supervision. The different parts of the literacy center should be clearly labeled to avoid confusion and for children to practice recognizing words. Classroom management. Teaching students to work independently in a literacy center. As children move from group work to working independently, the teacher guides them through a series of easy-to-follow rules. For example, students learn to manage their time effectively and how to share space. They are given opportunities to make choices about books they want to read or topics they want to research and report on. Teachers should plan ongoing activities to keep the children actively engaged and focused on their work. It is important for teachers to praise self-managed behavior, encourage independent work, and validate the children's efforts. It is also important for the children to correct. It is also important for the teacher to correct inappropriate behavior and guide children away from poor decisions, always in a supportive and caring way. Differentiate instruction using big books. After a whole group big book reading and rereading, the teacher informally observes and evaluates the children's reading skills. For this data, the teacher establishes small groups or provides for independent reading. In this way, the needs of the children are being met. The children can also read at their own pace. The teacher can set up a time schedule where children can work independently or in small groups to increase their confidence and understanding of the reading process. Callaway points out that after the big book reading experience, children can read to each other in small groups, read independently, dramatize the text, make reading with sounds effects, and write their own books using a similar theme or concept. The teacher guides and facilitates the lesson. Using big books with struggling readers. According to Vaca, many children struggle with reading and learning to read. They seem to use strategies less effectively and lack confidence in their reading abilities. Big books help struggling readers because of their big print, repeating words, and colorful pictures. A big book group reading is a safe environment because the children read aloud together and are not disturbed by a larger group and receive individual attention and help. Teachers should choose big books that have high, interesting, and low vocabulary such as Cows for Sale, Goodnight Moon, The Doorbell Rang, and Curious George. The teacher introduces the book, reads and rereads it to the children, and discusses it with them. The children should be encouraged to read on their own, and they should be praised for their efforts and achievements. Using big books with English language learners. Reading is a key to learning a new language, says Bennett. Using big books makes new language learning fun and meaningful for the children and their teachers. Using big books makes it easy for ELL students to follow the story and recognize new words. The children learn left to right, directional movement, voice to print, word matching, and new vocabulary words in a relaxed setting. They can participate at their own level and read words that they are sure they know to their classmates and teachers. Using technology in a literacy center. Beth Howland says that teachers who create a technology literacy center can put the technology in the hands of all their students, differentiate their instruction, and create many opportunities for learning. Howland suggests a number of ways to use technology, including create an iTunes account, use apps, ebooks, podcasts, and create an electric research center using URL links. Teachers can project big books onto a smartboard to make the big books even bigger and more interactive for all the children. In conclusion, big books are an effective and fun way to introduce the reading process to all beginning readers, include struggling readers and English language learners. Big books can be used with different types of lessons, such as shared reading lessons, guided reading lessons, and differentiated instruction lessons, and can be supported by technology.